Well, welcome to Valley Road for this round 23 clash between the Devonport Strikers and the Glenorchy Knights as Devonport close in on the NPL Tas Premiership. They require 3 more wins should Olympia, who follow them in second place, continue to win. Devonport can seal it if they win today, and then 2 clashes in the next couple of weeks against Riverside Olympic. But today, the focus is here at the Portress against the Glenorchy Knights. Glenorchy seem to be in good touch. They got a good result last week against Clarence, thumping them 8-0 as the players walk out onto the pitch. All to play for here today, and Glenorchy certainly have plenty to play for. 5th spot up for grabs for them as we see the Devonport Strikers line up there. We have Miles Barnard, the Fox in the box, who has banged away plenty of goals this season. He's only a couple of goals behind Matty Sanderson, the Hobart Zebras, who leads the goal scoring charts. So Miles Barnard has 22 this season from 18 games. Toby Barton will slot in the centre half position in the absence of Ralph Reynolds. Eddie Bidwell has had a terrific season too. He'll be out in the right wing, and the opposite wing will be Max Fitzgerald. Holding up the midfield will be Todd Hingston, and Kieran Mulroney, the Devonport Strikers captain at centre back. Connor Park forms another essential part of that very strong Devonport defence. Nathan Pitchford, the best stopper in the competition. Many would argue Dominic Smith will be at left back. Joel Stone, one of the best players to watch in the competition, perhaps one of the favourites for the Mitsubishi medal, scored an absolute screamer last week to help Devonport to a victory over the Kingborough Lions from a free kick. And Daniel Syson will play in the midfield alongside Joel Stone. On the bench today for Devonport, Charles Bidwell, Jack Dance, Tom Pearce, the goalkeeper, and Kynan West. For the Glenorchy Knights, we have Alessandro Bellini. He might line up in midfield today. Declan Brown will definitely line up in the midfield, and he's been in pretty good goal-scoring touch this season. He has quite a few himself. He's banged in 12. Gutierrez Chavez, he will line up in midfield as well. Hallard will be at centre-back alongside Tyler Harrison. Lachlan Hart in goals for the Glenorchy Knights. Samuel James might line up at full-back today, given the rest of the squad they've picked. Big Alex Lazinski will be up top for the Glenorchy Knights today, who'll be looking to bang a few away. He's been in good form, a hat-trick last week. So did Declan Brown, a hat-trick last week against Clarence, and he had one the week before too, Lazinski. Naden's also had a pretty good season in front of goals. He scored 11. Matthias Togge will be at fullback, and Thomas Young had a pretty excellent game. In fact, he stood out when I watched the highlights of last week's game. Thomas Young looked like he was pulling the strings in midfield there for the Glenorchy Knights. The substitutes for them, Ryan Backhouse, Tedigatisha Marnie, who has been starting in recent weeks, but he's relegated to the bench today, Dimitri Nesta, and then the coach, James Sherman, has himself on the subs bench should he be required, as we're not too far from a kickoff today. As I said, the Devonport Strikers just need to win the next 3 games to seal the NPL Tas Premiership for 2019 season, and Captain Kieran Mulroney will lift another trophy in what has been a tremendous few years for the Devonport Strikers, and the Portress is a fortress here at home. And today will be a big game. The Glenorchy Knights know their hold on 5th spot is relatively tenuous. Trailing directly behind them are the Kingborough Lions and Launceston City, who are all competing for that 5th spot. Glenorchy do still have to play Launceston City and Kingborough this season, so they can steal 5th spot with victories there, but it would go a long way to seeing them secure 5th spot today if they were to get a result here at Devonport and potentially throw a spanner in the works in the run home of the 2019 season as we are about to get underway. A decent crowd, and as you can hear here at Valley Road today is the Devonport Strikers on this cool Saturday late in winter, and we're underway. The pitch had a game on the pitch already today, a little bit bobbly as you might be able to tell on your screen. Need to be secure in your passes, careful of your first touch on a day like today, and Connor Park is there, he's picked it up in defence. Fires it into Toby Barton, who steps into midfield a bit like Ralph Reynolds, and he plays a delightful ball in behind to Bidwell, and Devonport in behind earlier. Terrific ball across from Bidwell. Ooh, comes to Fitzgerald on the far post, who scuffs his shot really, and it only ends up on the side netting there. Delightful little chip in behind. A good run from Bidwell. He has a chance to fire it across, and he does. He hits it with real pace. No one can quite get there, and it's an awkward height perhaps for Fitzgerald, who's arriving at the back post. Hallard here for Knights. He comes long up the line on his big left foot. Bellini brings it down on his chest. He has a chance to turn. He lays it down. Glenorchy drive forward there through Naden. Got his hair up in a ponytail today. The last few games I've seen he's had his hair hanging out, but he's put it up today. As Connor Park sees that one behind. It is a Devonport throw. No, I did think it was a Glenorchy throw. Bidwell picked it up and carried on with play. No, it's not. It is a Devonport throw. He's just been required to take it back. Park comes long up the line, headed away by James. Down to Young, who drives forward, goes past Park. Now has Mulroney for company. Whoa, Mulroney disposes of Young in a pretty physical fashion there. No foul deemed by the official. Gutierrez, Chavez and Syson clash, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Devonport Strikers. Here they come. Looks like it did come off Gutierrez Chavez, and it looks like a free kick here for the Devonport Strikers. A couple of minutes in, I forgot to introduce myself. My name's Camille Douglas, and I am calling this one for you today for Slice of Cheese and Football Tasmania. It is a big round 23 clash here at the Portress at Valley Road in Devonport as the Strikers look to bring home the silverware this season, going back to back under their coach Rick Coughlin this season, his first season in charge. Stone's ball drifts towards the back post, does well to get there. In the end, Harton punches clear, the ball cleared away now to Bidwell. Fires the pass out wide to Stone. He's got a bit of space to deliver. He does. Delightful cross in towards the Fox in the box, Miles Barnard, but headed away, and now Glenorchy with a chance to counter-attack through Brown. Brown, a dangerous player. I believe already has a couple of goals against the Devonport Strikers this season. Devonport 4-0 victors when Glenorchy visited earlier in the season back in March, and then the return fixture midway through the season saw Devonport 5-2 victors down at KG5. So goal scorers when Glenorchy last came here early in the season, Bidwell, Syson, Park and Giampoli, who has since departed the Strikers, that Argentinian signing. And then the 5-2 result down at KG5 was in fact Callum Brown, who's out for the rest of the season. He scored a brace on that day. Fitzgerald, Barnard with a brace, Stone and Bidwell, the other scorers there. as the referee pays advantage. Long ball on the wing up towards Naden, but Park will see that one behind, and we are some 5 minutes into this one here at Valley Road. We're into the 5th minute, and Nathan Pitchford, he's had some terrific highlights this season. He's had a spectacular season in the Devonport defence, the best in the league. Statistically, no doubt there, they have conceded the least amount of goals. As the ball comes towards Bidwell and James here, they clash together. James has it, he loses out to Syce, and the ball comes towards Fitzgerald, who was clearly offside, and you can tell because there was no complaints from the home faithful that Fitzgerald was offside. Hart, replace your divot, as they say. Took a chunk of the ground, and his free kick didn't go where he wanted it to. Now it's with Syson for Devonport. Comes back to Park, who has to turn away. Flicks it towards King Leonidas. Todd Hingston comes to Syson, who's got to find a pass. Chips out of the top towards Bidwell. Can Bidwell keep it in? No, he can't. Will be a throw for the Glenorchy Knights. James, who scored a nice goal last week against Clarence too, coming up on that left wing, driving it past the keeper at the near post. A terrific strike. If he can, he'll look to get forward today and cause Devonport some trouble. A tough ask here to come to Devonport and get a result though. Lazinski, a little flick on towards Bellini. He's tackled by Barton, and Barton wins out. Barton, a smooth mover at the back for the Devonport Strikers. One of those players that just looks like he has time on the ball. Dom Smith finds Stone. He's dropped into a pocket of space on the left wing. Stone tries to flip forward towards Barnard, but cleared away. Hingston's touch is a little heavy, and it's been pinched by Gutierrez Chavez, and now it's with Barton, who's stepping into the midfield when the opportunity arises. And Park tucking in alongside Mulroney when that is the case. Barton dropping back in now. Ball with Naden. His touch is heavy, pinched by Bidwell, comes to Barton, whose touch is nice down towards Park. Syson with time now to pick a pass. He chips it over the top towards Barnard, but Hart alive to the danger off his line and thumps it up towards the bullseye in the middle of the pitch. Hingston heads, then off Brown, who had no idea where it went, did a 360 and saw it was Smith who now had the ball for the Devonport Strikers. Smith turns back inside. Up towards Barton, and a lovely bit of play from him. Syson, a delicate ball in behind to Bidwell. Devonport in a dangerous position. A great ball from Bidwell, cleared away by Toghill. Matthias Toghill with a delightfully manicured beard, with a delightfully important clearance there for the Glenorchy Knights as the ball was fizzed across by Bidwell. Fitzgerald arriving in the back post, and Toghill doing well. Syson now. Park. Barton has Lazinski for company. Lazinski thumps into him, deemed not to a foul. Park puts it in towards the Fox in the box he can't control. Toghill hits it high and wide. Lazinski heads down towards Bellini. Mulroney, the captain there for the Strikers. His kick has ended up as a good ball towards Bidwell, who drives towards the byline. He cuts it, it's high, comes to Stone, who hits it first time. A shin more than a boot. Cleared up higher than it was long on that occasion by the Knights. Comes down to Fitzgerald, who throws himself at it, sprawled on the ground. Highlights here on the edge of the Devonport Strikers box. Stone steps over, goes past Toghill now. Can he find the ball? Drives into the box. Stone at the byline, cuts it back. Corner ball. Glenorchy Knights players remonstrating that perhaps it bounced off the Glenorchy players and then on to Stone and then out behind. We'll see in the highlights here. Oh, hard to tell. The result is a corner for the Devonport Strikers. There was a goal overnight in the English Premier League. Virgil van Dijk, the big Liverpool centre-back, scoring from a corner, but in the absence of Virgil van Dijk, Joel Stone hits it in towards Devonport's tall players. The referee's spotted an infringement in the box there. Chavez getting the clearance all wrong. And I think a foul on the goalkeeper there from Smith, perhaps. Long ball now. Mulroney scuffs his clearance a little bit, but it comes down to Hingston. Just plays a simple ball out towards Park at the right back position. His ball up towards Eddie Bidwell, whose touch inside is excellent to go past James, but George Hallard was there. Read the danger. There's the ball. Bidwell cutting inside. A nice first touch to go past, and then Hallard bouncing it off Bidwell, and it's going to be a goal kick here for the Glenorchy Knights. Some 10 minutes played, and Devonport certainly having the better of proceedings thus far, having control of the play. In particular, Bidwell's got in behind a few times and fired the ball across, not finding the end result, the tap in as Naden heads down towards Bellini. Mulroney thumps it up the line towards Bidwell, who's having some joy out here, and Toghill and James look like they've switched wings. Switched their fullback position, so that might be because Bidwell had a bit of joy against James here in the right back positions. So they have made the switch. Toghill now to left back and James to right back. Maybe they think those matchups are better, but an early change, tactical change there for the Glenorchy Knights. As I'm absolutely thrilled here to be joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Rod Rocket Andrews, former president of the Devonport City Soccer Club, superstar goalkeeper, is going to join me today to call much of this game. Rod Andrews, I should say welcome back. I've commentated in the past, and it's great to have you here again.
Mate, I remember back in the old Spreaker days, a $4 iPhone app used to talk away, trailblazers that we were. But anyway, things have moved on. Good to see you, mate. Good to be here.
You too. I was just saying the other day that I still think, still count as pioneers of coverage here in Tasmanian football. Though no one else might, but there's action here in the box as Barnard lays it to Fitzgerald. His touch is heavy, still gets it into the balls from Sison, who has the easiest job in the world of tapping home from point blank range. Daniel Sison back on the score sheet. He scored here when Devonport won 4-0 earlier in the season against Knights, and he was back at it again just then. The Devonport strikers, some blindingly quick football. Fitzgerald fizzed the ball into Barnard, who simply laid it back to Fitzgerald. It looked like his touch might have been a bit heavy, but Sison had got into the right position, and Fitzgerald gave him the easiest job in the world, Rod Andrews. Yeah,
look, great work from the strikers. Actually thought the goal would more likely come down this right wing. A couple of Bidwells, you talked about that tactical change, and probably not before too long. But, left wing, mate. Good ball in, and easily finished by Daniel Aussie Sison. We love Aussie size here.
We do Aussie size, yeah.
1-0.
Daniel on the score sheet again here. On Zababa here. Daniel on the lion's den. I've had a few trims there. It's a terrific spot to get your hair done right. Have you been, Daniel, on the lion's den?
No, look, I do my own. You could probably tell. These days, it's just wouldn't be value for money, mate. Just a matter of whacking the razor over the top and shaving her off. So, no, I haven't, but I hear it's excellent for people that have hair. He does the shave thing as well. It's a proper barbershop, I think.
They do call him a salad artist.
They do.
That's the nickname he's picked up in recent seasons.
Yeah, this salad, I get that too. I understand. Yeah, my son explained it to me. Free kick to the strikers. Just knocks it wide to Park. Sorry, Cammy, probably not my role. I'm special comments, aren't I? Back to Sison.
No, mate, you're more than welcome.
It's like riding a bike to Smith. He's got too many options here. Not a lot of movement in the midfield, so he goes wide and they recycle again to Park. Bidwell screams the ball out wide. Nice touch inside to Sison again. No, he doesn't get there. Ball's cleared by the Knights. Brown's in good nick, Cammy. Oh, sorry, mate. We've got a chance here.
Lazinski comes over to Brown. We know how dangerous Brown can be. Comes to the top of the box, and Young fires one in. Bounces off Mulroney, who didn't really know too much about that one. And luckily for him, it stopped kind of harmlessly wide of goals. And Pitchford was glad to pick that one up as the Knights forced to turn over there through Lazinski, who fizzed it towards Brown, and Devonport need to be alive to that danger. They do have the 1-0 lead, and we know how good an outfit they are, but they cannot afford to lapse at this stage of the season.
Absolutely not. Every game's a grand final at this point in time. Smith again looks to go down that line. Foz Barnard, who's drifted across to the left. What can he do with his cross? Oh, his referee didn't like the dive. Look good from here.
Yeah, I was just told to get up. The official waved. You've seen the replay. Barnard driving there towards Hallard. Hallard didn't get the ball, and I'm not sure if he got Barnard either, but in the end, the official decided that nothing had happened and play was waved on. Barnard still not happy, and a bit of a limp from Barnard too as he gets back up, so maybe he did catch him.
I think he tripped himself, mate.
There's big Albie Lazinski. Wrestles with Smith. He lays it down to Brown, who comes to Young. All the way back to skipper Tyler Harrison. He wrestles with Stone. Clips it long forward, but Mulroney will deal with that one. And it puts it behind. Not quite. Fitzgerald keeps it in play. No flag raised by Charlie Vella on the far touchline there as Young drives forward to Lazinski. Is Glenorchy enjoying a good little passage here, but it is Mulroney who drives forward now for the Devonport Strikers. Fitzgerald stopped by Hallard, who fizzes it wide towards Brown. Whereas Smith for company, and they bit of argy-bargy, and it's going to be a throw for Glenorchy, and not too happy there with the attention. Brown, who gives Smith a shove away. Right.
He did. Right in front of the sponsors box. PFD in today, long-time sponsor of the club. As that one gets seen out by Barton. He's been a great find for the club. Just one of those guys that just rocks into training and wants to have a kick. And yeah, that's worked out really, really well. He's been more than an able replacement for Lascano, and to a lesser extent Raph Reynolds, who's been injured lately too. On the comeback. So, Mulroney again out to Park. Going to do a bit of work. Connor's up to it. Inside to Bidwell. Tries to get that ball to Syson. Nothing going. I'll take a throw.
Now, Rod, I think in what is truly our style, we've missed a substitution. At some point...
Have we ever picked one?
At some point... the Glenorchy Knights have made a substitution as Devonport drive into the box, and Barnard fires perhaps a goal, but it's come wide towards Fitzgerald, who has it one-on-one with Tolkiel. It comes now to Stone, who's in the box, flicks it towards Fitzgerald, but Glenorchy Knights managed to clear it away. Now through Bellini. He gets it to the feet of Lazinski, and Naden runs past him. Can Lazinski find the ball? He does. Back to Bellini. As Glenorchy string a few together here. Toghill down to Harrison. Clips it towards Bellini. Can he find the ball forward now? Hingston for company on the right wing. Bellini. And then Brown. And then Gutierrez Chavez intercepted by Toby Barton. And Devonport now counter-attack. A good ball through from Syson in behind the man who has come on, Rod Andrews. That is Ryan Backhouse has come on at left back.
Backhouse, yeah.
To replace young goal scorer from last week in James. Samuel James, the number 7, came off. And Ryan Backhouse came on. As the delightful ball in behind there from Park comes to Barnard, who got his balance all wrong. As you can see, he fell over as he struck it. A bit too excited there. Perhaps rushed at Barnard. Delightful ball from Park and an excellent run from Barnard. A little diagonal behind the defender. You love those runs as a midfielder when you see your attackers make those. It makes slipping those balls in behind easy. But Barnard never looked to have his balance as he struck that one, Rod.
No, I'd be disappointed with that. You'd expect to and anticipate to at least make the keeper make a save there. But nothing doing. Barnard blazes over the top as the keeper plays out. Very composed. Gets it out wide. Barton just clears again to Park. So go well when it's the strikers, mate. And it becomes the Glenorchy player, unfortunately, when it goes the other way. I'm impressed with your knowledge of the other team, mate.
I do my homework, right, and I very much enjoy watching a lot of NPL Tasmanian football, and Glenorchy Knights certainly have showed some highlights this year. Unfortunately, they have one or two of their better players missing today, but through injury, but a relatively strong squad for them today, nearly their best 11.
Oh, that's good. I apologise, Glenorchy Knights fans. I mean no disrespect. Just don't get out much.
Here we go, Young driving forward. He finds the ball through to Bellini, offside. Charlie Vella raises the flag. As we can see here,
Probably was.
interception there from Young, forcing the turnover from Hingston. We didn't quite catch that one, but the flag goes up. If we had VAR, we would have a proper check at this point, I think. And Charlie Vella would, on the far touchline, we're told to keep his flag down to let play go on. But as we don't have VAR available,
Tell you what, good thing it was available at the cricket the other night, mate.
the technology.
Oh, mate, some appalling umpiring decisions.
But, certainly, the officials in that Ashes Test match won't be looking back fondly on their performance in that one. I don't know if they'll get a gig in the remaining 4 tests, Rod.
Well, I did hear that one of the guys is actually fronting up in the next one, but I don't know whether that changed.
So there they go. As Bellini gets on it here, he's been exciting early. Showed some good touches on what is a bit of a difficult pitch in patches. Bellini clips it in towards Nate, and he's got a chance to turn. He slips it out towards Toghill and Brown. Brown dummies for Toghill, and Toghill leaves it. A bit of miscommunication. Delightful footwork from Brown into Nate, and he dummies towards Bellini. It falls to Bellini in the end. He's got Hingston. He's going to get a shot away.
He's got a
Turns
chance
onto
here.
his right foot and scuffs it harmlessly wide in the end. And Glenorchy showing some exciting glimpses, Rod.
Yeah, look, it's good football at the moment, end to end. Yeah, really good opportunity there. Just couldn't get his shot away.
Twisted and turned and created the space to shoot. Had Young waiting as well to if he was going to lay it off, but chose to go himself and found the space. But just, again, a bit like Barnard at the opposite end, Rod, just off balance as he struck.
And you can't be off balance when you strike.
Even when I'm not on, even if I have got my balance right, I can't strike it. But I did score a goal today, Rod.
I know.
So believe it or not.
I know.
Strange.
You had a few
things.
friends, but no, it was great, Cammy. Good to see. But it's not all about you, mate. It's about the Devonport Strikers and Glenorchy Knights in the NPL. There's another chance here, but just a little bit too much on that ball, and Pitchford will comfortably take care of that one. Been in fantastic form this year, Nathan Pitchford. Really is one of the premier keepers in the state, consistently year in, year out now. That's into Barnard, who flicks it onto Fitzgerald, who's not going to quite get there.
And Hart has been pretty good early doors here for the Glenorchy Knights in goals. Keeping Dimitri Nestor out of the sticks for Glenorchy. He's a good keeper as well, and here's Stone. He drives it that Glenorchy Knights defence. Backhouse does well enough though and puts it out. Stone takes a quick throw in. Park tries to return it perhaps to Stone. Doesn't quite get it right, and Lazinski flicks on. No one at home though. And Mulroney, good pass into Park. Toby Barton, a smooth mover. Clips, tries to get in behind. To Bidwell, works out. Bidwell has a touch. He plays it on the outside of the right towards Fitzgerald here. He tries to shoot across the face. And Hart looked pretty comfortable with that from the moment it left Fitzgerald's boot. So perhaps never in danger of nestling into the side netting there, Rod.
Yeah, no, Barnard made the run, but just didn't quite find his feet. He'd made the run to the penalty spot, but nothing doing there. Another goal kick.
Strange week for the Fox in the box last week. Andrew's name wasn't on the score sheet.
I know. He was pretty keen to play in the game afterwards, mate, against Somerset, just so he could get a goal or two. Very unlike him not to score.
He'll certainly be hoping to get back on the score sheet today. 22 goals in 18 games this season is a terrific return. As in the run home, it's very much fallen down to he and only 4 goals behind
Matthew
Sanders
yeah,
from the Hobart Sabres. Thanks, Rod. I had a mental blank, and you just helped me out as the ball comes in from Joel Stone. Hart does well. He gets a big right fist into that one. Fitzgerald heads down, headed away by Naden, down to Fitzgerald, thumped away by Toghill. As the Glenorchy Knights now counter-attack, they have Brown. He's got no one ahead of him, though, so he's going to have to hold it up. He does lose out to Hingston, who on the left foot plays a delicate ball into the box in the box.
Cries for offside, but nothing going there, I wouldn't have thought.
Hallard tries to clear it, and then Fitzgerald lets it run out of play. Perhaps could have kept it in, but chose to go for the corner instead. Here's the play behind it. Nearly falls to Barnard. Hallard tries to put it behind, and Fitzgerald just leaves it to go behind, and Joel Stone will wander over and take a corner kick, Rod.
Yeah, look, one of those 6-1, half a dozen of the others, those, you let it go, take your corner, or do you hold the ball up and wait for a couple of players to arrive? Hindsight being a wonderful thing. Oh, and that's close to right in that danger zone where keepers can't come. Oh, shot from Fitzgerald from out of the box. I think the keeper's got a bit on that. Strikers players gesticulating to the corner, but no, maybe not. It's a fantastic save if he did. Let's have a look here on the replay.
Clearance from Hallard and then came down to Fitzgerald who thumps it. As a keeper, Rod, you know, do you claim those ones that look like you might have got a hand to it? Like just so you can get the recognition of having made a save?
Absolutely, mate. I used to claim them when I didn't save them and just wring my hands as if it had stung, you know. Conceded a few goals that way from the resulting corner, but let's face it, it was always all about me, mate.
Absolutely, mate. That's we play for no other reason. A long ball up from Pitchford. Hallard and Barnard have been battling away in there today. Stone does well. He dances, but not quite getting the pass away in the end. Now Naden looks to counter-attack. Toby Barton slides across.
Good tackle.
A big tackle from Barton. A good, strong tackle. And he takes an early throw, which players love. Daniel Syson
ball inside, no one there. Fitzgerald will just win that with no. Naden's down. He's in a bit of strife down here on the
they're
on
going
the
to have to put the ball out, I think, the Glenorchy Knights, because Naden is not well at all.
Not sure what happened.
Yeah, no one seems to have noticed that. Not even the Glenorchy players seem to have noticed that Naden is down here.
If someone's listening,
Toby Barton has realised that he's put the ball out, as now the Glenorchy players come over to check on Naden, who is a bit sore. Here's the tackle from Toby Barton. Nothing wrong with the tackle. He gets the ball.
Good hard tackle.
Good hard tackle, and just Naden's foot getting caught underneath Barton there, I think, is the issue. And so Naden just in a little bit of pain, as you can see here, right in front of us.
Replacing the divot there, good to see.
Any people doing
a bit of work, a bit of curation. Ground's in remarkably good condition. Played the Northern Championship 1 on it before. As you know, Cammy, you were in amongst that.
I was. I did my best not to tear it up too much, right?
It's been a while since you've torn anything up, mate. But, yeah, look, we were keeping a watchful eye on it. If there were too many slide tackles, we were going to call the game off. But it was not to be. Just looking at the replay of the goal there. Yeah, really well worked there from Fitzgerald and Barnard, and Syson, sorry. Now, meanwhile, I think Naden's okay to carry on.
You'd hope so. Glenorchy have already spent a substitution. We're only 26 minutes into this one, and a second substitution would leave them very short of options later in the game should they need to make further substitutions. So,
absolutely.
Naden has wandered off on the side of the pitch. He looks like he'll be right to come back on here.
A couple of Knights players grabbing a drink. They had to quickly come back on and get in their shape. It's all good.
Play resumed, and some of the players weren't aware that it was about to resume. So about 5 Glenorchy players had to race back into position as they got back underway. Todd Hingston, Dom Smith, Joel Stone. Delicately forward, but thumped away by Tolkien. Hingston brings it down. Turns away. Good switch. Park. Good control. He now drives forward. Come back out to where the left wing where they came from. Excellent ball behind to Fitzgerald, who takes his first touch with his head, fires it across the box. Harrison there, and then Toghill, who clear away. Hingston, his first touchdown towards Stone. We'll have Brown for company. 2 excellent players clashing together there, and on that occasion, Brown putting it out behind Dom Smith to Kieran Mulroney.
Early days, strikers looking really threatening down both sides. Seem to continually get behind the Glenorchy Knights defence and getting those dangerous low balls into the penalty area. It's only one way that's going to end if you continue to do that. Now, what's going on here?
A free kick here, I believe, from the tackle from behind from Tolkien. Fitzgerald went to play it out wide to Stone. Tolkien tried to intercept and instead of getting the ball, got Fitzgerald, and Joel Stone now stands over a free kick some 35 yards from Hart's goal, Rod Andrews. I don't think he'll be shooting.
You don't reckon? Oh,
well, maybe after last week he should. Who knows?
I reckon you'll have a crack.
Swings it in towards
dangerous.
that 6-yard box and cleared away by Hallard, who's been dominant in the air when those long balls have come into the box from the free kicks and corners. Here he is again, Hallard.
Good play.
Now out to Toghill.
It's one of those balls that you've really got to win, or you're nearly better off to commit a professional foul and stop the team from breaking. But strikers have got their shape pretty well here. Knight's struggling to get through, but they're knocking the ball around well. That one's given away to Syson. Syson very quickly into Barnard. Now Barnard, he'll spread it out wide again, or does he not? He looks inside. Gets out wide.
Fitzgerald made the run. There. Yeah, Fitzgerald made the run inside, and perhaps width was what Barnard needed there. And in the end, Barnard played it out, just hoping that someone had made an overlapping run, but to no avail as Glenorchy move it forward. Stone slides in, and then Tolkiel slides in, and I think the referee rightfully blowing his whistle there. It looks like Tolkiel might have caught Stone here. Stone sliding in to get the ball, and then he didn't particularly catch him much, but perhaps just enough to earn Stone a free kick. Sherman not pleased with the decision. He gesticulating wildly at the official after he blew his whistle, but I think fairly awarded, Rod.
Yeah, look, he was in a better position than you or I guess, but it looked a free kick from here. Ordinary free kick, speaking of free kicks, from Tommy Smith, but it's worked out okay as Hingston starts to drive forward and he just loses control of the ball. The other beard, Barton, heads in the face into the footwork of Stone. Stone knocks it back to Smith, and the Strikers will look to recycle again. Cammy, I'm a bit nervous, mate. My boss is actually standing above me here at the moment. I'm used to him doing that on a Monday to Friday, but not at the soccer/football.
I'm sure, as ever, Rod, your performance will be immaculate.
Well, I'm a public servant, mate, so I have no freedom of speech, unfortunately, so I've got to be careful what I say. And Stone's on the ball again. Had a fantastic season, hasn't he, Joel Stone? Really consistent this year.
Tremendous season, and perhaps more than any other season, he's added goals to his repertoire and scored many important goals from free kicks and in open play. So he's been very dangerous and has always, as ever, been creative and skillful on the ball, and he's been had a tremendous season, and will be one of the favourites come Mitsubishi Metal Night as Barnard's in the box here, the Fox in the box doing what he does best now. Plays it back to Syson. Barnard needs to get back into the box, create an option. Can Syson deliver? He does. Naden tracking back from the left wing, putting it out behind. A Devonport throw.
Throw or a corner? I'm not sure.
Players aren't moving towards the box per se, so... Oh, now they are, because it is a corner.
A bit hard to tell from here. Oh, we've got a camera. So, corner to the Strikers. Stone will take this as he does. His delivery from set pieces has been nothing short of exceptional this year.
Yeah. Half an hour played here at Valley Road. The Portress, the Devonport Strikers, in a must-win game for them as they look to close out the NPL Tas Premiership. They need just 3 more wins. That is, if Olympia continue to win. As the ball comes in hard, comes flying out with his fist and thumps the ball clear. He also thumps into Connor Park, who picks himself up slowly. He's a hard man, though, Connor Park, and he'll get himself back up. As Barnard now has the ball, the flag is raised. He shot fired after the whistle is wide anyway.
And he comes from a good pedigree, Connor Park, in terms of hardness. This was just one of those things, good bit of keeping there. It's probably a bridge too far, but to his credit, the keeper kept coming, and that's what can happen if you back yourself. Comfortably won that, and a good punch.
He's come out a few times with the fist and done well. Right, I'm sure you can appreciate the work of the keepers when you see them being efficient, or, I don't know, were you a punch with 1 or 2 fists, or it just depended?
Well, I can't remember, mate. It was so long ago.
You just catch them all, did you?
Yeah, I used to back myself. Probably a little bit too much. I was never short of self-belief, and that probably got me in a fair bit of strife. But again, it's not about me, Cammy. It's about the game.
Who's playing?
You know players' names and everything.
As Gutierrez Chavez stands over this one for the Glenorchy Knights, can they level the scores here? They want a strong finish to their season. They are tussling for 5th spot. Only 2 points separate themselves. Kingborough, Launceston City in 5th, 6th and 7th. Ball in. Oh, it's come off the outright. Into the back of the net. Was that Hallard who has scored, I think? Wow. It is. Good delivery.
Well, the first
in from Gutierrez Chavez, and now the hair coming out there for Hallard, the centre back. The ball in from Chavez, came to Naden, clattered off the post. There's nothing Pitchford can do about that one. And it came off the post and then came back along the goals. Might have, on a different day, it could have deflected and gone back out and Devonport clear it, but on this day, it's nestled into the Devonport goal. And George Hallard, I'm not sure how many times he's been on the in the goals this season, but today he is, and that is an important goal for the Glenorchy Knights as they look to get their season back on track. I mean, they've been in good form. They put 8 past Clarence last week, but if you're going to pick a goal scorer for Glenorchy today, I don't reckon Hallard would have been on your list, but nonetheless, he is. And the Devonport Strikers, we know how important this is for them to continue to win, to wrap up this premiership, and if they don't get the result, then opens the door for Olympia.
Does indeed. That was just a really good header. The first strike that hit the post, beat Pitchford, all ends up. Nothing he could do there. And like you said, once it's hit the post, it could have gone anywhere, but it didn't. And it's 1 apiece. So the Strikers and the Knights all tied up here with 34 minutes gone, nearly 35 in the first half. No scoreboard malfunctions today, mate. I think it started on time. The corner comes in, it's a good one, and Pitchford claims that comfortably. And he'll look to release quickly here. She does to Park. And the Strikers look to build again. Well, that's livened things up a bit. Another good crowd in today. Don't count yet. I'll have to check it out later on. It's one of those things with camera positions here. We always get a look at the cars, unfortunately, and don't get a look at the ground at the crowd. But we're in amongst it, and it's a healthy one today.
It is another healthy crowd on a pretty chilly late winter afternoon here at the Devonport Strikers home ground at Valley Road. The nickname the Portress. Joel Stone takes a little throw in towards Park. He clips in on the left foot, a bit hopeful more than directive, and Lazinski has been good when he's got the ball at his feet today, and a terrific ball forward. Here comes Pitchford. Oh, and he clashes in to Young, but Pitchford does exceptionally well. He read the long ball forward. An exciting passage of play. A good little ball from Naden in towards Young, who might have thought, I'm in here, but Pitchford came across and had to get the ball there, because if he misses it, he is in all sorts of trouble, right, Andrews?
Yeah, it was all over Red Rover had he got past there, but Pitchford had his eye on the ball and probably read that early.
No pun intended, Red Rover.
Actually, there wasn't. Yeah, no, another good chance for the Knights. Knocking the ball around pretty well at the moment. Strikers with a bit to do.
Chavez to Brown, bounces off his knee. Still has it under control though. He gets it towards Toghill, who's overlapping in towards Bellini, who showed some good touches. Not that one though. And Smith now will have to clear for the Devonport. He's under pressure from Lazinski. Up towards Fitzgerald. Toghill down, but now is Syson. Pinched away by Bellini. Gutierrez, Chavez. Here comes Brown. Who can he find? He comes in towards Bellini. And then Naden. And then Lazinski. Oh, not quite getting that right. Naden to Lazinski there, and Hingston tackled by Brown, and we'll get a free kick, right, Andrews?
Yeah, a little AR, half a flag there. I saw the official just a little wave there to notify that there may well have been a foul, or maybe he just changed his mind. I'm not sure. Not mic'd up today, are they, the refs? I don't think so. No, they'll have to communicate.
The old-fashioned way, right?
Park again. Ooh, nearly got through there to Barnard. Barnard making the runs, just not being rewarded at this point in time.
Mulroney with the agricultural clearance, as you would say, right, Andrew?
Agricultural, yes, and over the top of the sponsors box. PFD are being hosted today.
What do they have in the sponsors box there? Or do they some kind of special treats in there?
Yeah, they do. They do. They've got a TV and everything. I'm just looking at where that aerial's pointed. I don't think it's going to serve much purpose. But I know a bit about TV reception. But yeah, they've all the things you'd expect: hot food, cold drinks. Should be a lot of fun. We're in again here, mate. Ooh. Naden just a little bit disappointed. He just got a bad bounce there at the critical moment, but it's Knights again now. Kingston does well and slows that one down. Alby's still in amongst it. It's a good challenge there from Lazinski. Lazinski, ball at his feet, distributes beautifully. That's a great ball to Brown. Brown shot on goal. going to say it looked good from here, but it didn't look too good from here, mate. I thought that was in.
Nathan Pitchford will be hugely grateful that did not nestle in the back. A terrific run from Brown, an even better ball from Lazinski, and the finish didn't quite match up with the run and pass going wide at Pitchford's goal. Maybe Pitchford did enough to force it wide, but Devonport strikers been caught a little bit napping at the back here. Glenorchy are having some good passages of play, getting it under, knocking it round. Chavez and Bellini and Brown all getting involved in Lazinski and Nate, and they're making life difficult for the Devonport back six, let's say. So there is in no way this game at Devonport entirely on top, because Glenorchy certainly have their share. As Barnard jumps to the couple, comes to Chavez, who's been important the last few minutes. Smith heads down, Hingston to Fitzgerald, to Hingston, then to Sison. Sison with space and time on the left wing. He delivers, shapes, thumped away by the goal scorer Hallard. Comes down to Lazinski, who will shield away. He needs an option. Who can he find? A good ball into Young, whose pass just misses Bellini.
Well, they're winning the midfield battles at the moment, Glenorchy Knights. The last 20 minutes, they've probably had the better of the game, and Lazinski's been a big part of that. Not so much the midfield battle, but just holding it up for players to run through. And, they're doing that with great effect as the strikers predictably go down that left side again and try and find it. Fast feet of Max Fitzgerald. A
lot of joy early out here on the right wing for Bidwell, but since then much of the play for Devonport has been down that left wing, Rod.
Yeah.
Perhaps it was the introduction of Backhouse, which we missed, which has shut things down. Bidwell not getting the joy that he once had. Barnard controls. A delightful ball from Stone. Fitzgerald hits the underside of the bar. It hasn't gone over, but now Bidwell puts it in behind.
Well, that's 2 goals.
Edward Bidwell, goal scorer again. Once more, Edward Bidwell has scored against Glenorchy already this season. In the 4-0 victory here, he scored, and he scores again. Delightful ball from Stone in behind of Fitzgerald, who made a piercing run in behind the Glenorchy defence. The ball rattled off the underside of the crossbar, perhaps could have crossed the line in that kind of 1966 World Cup final controversial fashion. And then Bidwell was on hand to fire home from point blank range. The Devonport strikers have scored 2 from a combined distance of about 5 yards, Rod Andrews.
Yeah, look, probably a good thing the rebound went in, because that would have been a very controversial moment potentially. Look, we're not in the greatest spot, but to me that appeared to go well and truly over the line in the first instance.
Do you like my 1966 World Cup final reference, right?
Great analogy, mate.
Yeah.
Yes, very good.
I like that.
I'm a student of history. I was born in 1966.
Hey.
Yeah, January the 20th, 1966. Decimal currency.
It is, that's true, the decimal currency here as well.
I think what else happened? Beatles came to Australia? No, I'm making it up. I don't know. Park again. Well, strikers back on top now just before half-time. 41 minutes gone. They'll be pleased with that, as it just stops a little bit of that ascendancy that was starting to occur. As I said, the Glenorchy Knights winning the midfield battles, and had the strikers on their heels there for a moment. There's a long ball coming through. This is dangerous. Mulroney wins the battle with Lazinski on that occasion. 2 big strong blokes there.
They are, and they leave, give no inch, either of those two. Young flicks it up towards Lazinski.
No centimetre, mate.
Barton, is that, did I mix metaphors? That's okay. Young in towards Barton, who doesn't quite make good with his clearance. It comes down to Brown, who volleys ambitiously from about 25 yards out. Difficult kind of technical strike there to perform, and did okay to get it on target, but never really troubled the keeper. And Hart could have perhaps taken 2 steps back and caught that one. Instead decided to flick it out, and now he's put his team in danger. Stone and tries another dink in behind the Fitzgerald. The flag goes up on the far side this time, and the keeper makes a save from Fitzgerald's left foot strike anyway, Rod Andrews.
Yeah, not sure why the keeper did that. Didn't really matter. It's all a bit academic now. Nothing came of it, but it was Pitchy's obligatory end-to-end punt that he attempts every week. He's got the wind with him, so why the heck not? I tell you what, she was a battle of the long boots last week. The keeper from Kingborough, whose name eludes me, he can kick a ball. I thought you'd know him, Cammy. Now everyone else, mate, you need to do your work. There's another goal kick to the Glenorchy Knights, and Barton wins that one comfortably. Good battle, that one. Back to Park. He's been in amongst it this week, this afternoon as well. Puts it out for a throw. Couple of minutes before half time.
It is, and Devonport haven't had it all their own way, Rod Andrews, and Glenorchy well and truly in this, and we'll look in these last couple of minutes to press forward. They know they've had a little bit of momentum, and here Lazinski again, who has been good. Barton, always a smooth mover. He flicks towards Bidwell. A nice touch to Stone, who unleashes a cross ball switch towards Fitzgerald. An excellent pass. Fitzgerald slips at the crucial moment, though, and is cleared away by Toghill.
Now, I've been called away, mate. I think they want me to go and announce the penalty shootout, mate, the TPS penalty shootout. So
there is the TPS penalty shootout at halftime here for the kids who are in attendance. It's a terrific initiative here at the Portress for halftime highlights. So Rod Andrews will leave us now. Thanks for your help, and I'm sure we'll see Rod again in the second half for the final moments of this first half. Connor Park switching play. Mulroney out towards Dom Smith. Syson's feet, his touch is heavy. Now to Chavez, to Young. Gets a bit of a bobble in his pass, doesn't find Bellini, its intended target. Mulroney, the long switch towards Stone. He traps it well on his thigh and then clips it in behind to Bill. That is delightful from Joel Stone, but Ryan Backhouse alive to the danger and he puts it behind. It's a terrific play to watch Joel Stone. He's got space here again. Why he would stand off him. Commentator's curse there as Stone missed. Doesn't quite control that one. Does enough though. Now he's got it again. Tries to go past Chavez, but he's alive to the danger. Park, Bidwell. He's got Backhouse of company. Does enough to get past him. No, he doesn't. Backhouse is good, and he puts it behind for a corner as we might be in the last throes of this first half here. As you can hear, Rod Andrews on the ground. Announcements.
Volkswagen Polo, and you have a great opportunity to win a $50 gift voucher from Total Performance Sports. So, you think you can hit the target? Get down to the front of the round.
Ball comes in from Joel Stone up towards Hingston, who heads down. Doesn't go towards goal, and Chavez lays his left boot into it. Bidwell, who's the deepest back for the Devonport Strikers. I'm sure he'll come back towards Pitchford here and does, as all eyes now fall on the official. We've played a minute and a half nearly here of added time in the first half. Had a couple of injury moments, but here's Naden. Here's a chance to drive forward now. A lunging tackle from Fitzgerald wins it back, and he unleashes with his left foot up towards Sison. The goal scorer, Hallard, comes down towards Stone. Hallard has it again. Can he pick a pass? No sign of a whistle yet from the official. Smith and Naden. Smith wins out this time. It will be a Glenorchy throw, however. Both with Coughlin and Sherman, both coaches, a bit of work to do at half-time. This game well and truly competitive as the ball from Stone is a nice one, but Hart once more could have perhaps picked that one up, doesn't. Cleared away anyway, and the whistle goes for half-time. It is the Devonport Strikers who lead 2-1. Daniel Sison, the early goal scorer from a cutback from Fitzgerald. We see the first goal here, a good 1-2 between Barnard and Fitzgerald. Saw Sison add to his goal tally this season. The salad artist. Then Glenorchy equalising from Hallard. Chavez to Hallard, who rattled his header in off the post to make it 1-1 with the Devonport Strikers after a good little passage for the Glenorchy Knights. Once again turned the game on its head, with Eddie Bidwell firing home after Max Fitzgerald hit the underside of the crossbar. Brown missing a good chance there to put Glenorchy Knights ahead. It wasn't much longer after that the Devonport Strikers went ahead, as you'll see here. Delightful from Stone. Good trap from Fitzgerald. Perhaps went in. It didn't matter because Eddie Bidwell fired home from close range. The Devonport Strikers lead 2-1 at half time. We're back with the second half action not too long from now. Like today, and Connor Park is there. He's picked it up in defence. Fires it into Toby Barton, who steps into midfield a bit like Ralph Reynolds, and he plays a delightful ball in behind to Bidwell, and Devonport in behind earlier. Terrific ball across from Bidwell. Away by James. Down to Young, who drives forward, goes past Park. Now has Mulroney for company. Whoa, Mulroney disposes of action there. No foul deemed by the official. Gutierrez, Chavez and Syson clash, and it's going to be a throw-in. Comes towards Bidwell and James here. They clash together. James has it. He loses out to Syson. The ball comes towards Fitzgerald, who was clearly offside, and play from him. Syson, a delicate ball in behind to Bidwell. Devonport in a dangerous position. A great ball from Bidwell, cleared away by Toghill. Matthias Rainey, the captain there for the Strikers. His kick has ended up as a good ball towards Bidwell, who drives towards the byline. He cuts it, it's high, comes to Stone, who hits it first time. A shin more than a boot. Cleared up higher than it was long on that occasion by the Knights. Comes down to Fitzgerald, who throws himself at it, sprawled on the ground. Highlights here on the edge of the... Goes past Toghill now. Can he find the ball? Drives into the box. Stone at the byline, cuts it back. Corner ball. Back scoring from a corner, but in the absence of Virgil van Dijk, Joel Stone hits it in towards Devonport's tall players. Back position. His ball up towards Eddie Bidwell, whose touch inside is excellent to go past James, but George Hallard was there. Tasmanian football. But no one else might, but there's action here in the box as Barnard lays it to Fitzgerald. His touch is heavy, still gets it into the balls from Syson, who has the easiest job in the world of tapping home from point blank range. Daniel Syson back on the score sheet.
Brown's in good nick, Cammy. Oh, sorry, mate, we've got a chance here.
Lazinski comes over to Brown. We know how dangerous Brown can be. Comes to the top of the box, and Young fires one in, bounces off Mulroney, who
looks to go down that line. Fires Barnard, who's drifted across to the left. What can he do with his cross? Oh, his referee didn't pick one.
At some point, the Glenorchy Knights have made a substitution as Devonport drive into the box, and Barnard fires perhaps a goal, but it's come wide towards, and Ryan Backhouse came on. As the delightful ball in behind there from Park comes to Barnard, who got his balance all wrong.
Just don't get out much.
Here we go, Young driving forward. He finds the ball through to Bellini, offside. Charlie Bella raises the flag. It's Bellini, it falls to Bellini in the end. He's got Hingston, he's getting it a shot away.
He's got a
chance
chance
onto his right foot and scuffs it harmlessly wide in the end. Bidwell has a touch. He plays it on the outside of the right towards Fitzgerald here. He tries to shoot across the face, and Hart looking to have to hold it up. He does lose it out to Hingston, who on the left foot plays a delicate ball into the box,
Surprised for offside, but nothing going there. I wouldn't have thought. A couple of players to arrive. Hindsight being a wonderful thing, and that's close to right in that danger zone where keepers can't come. Oh, shot from Fitzgerald from out of the box. I think the keeper's got a bit on that.
He does well. He dances, but not quite getting the pass away in the end. Now Naden looks to counter-attack. Toby Barton slides across.
Good tackle.
A big tackle from Barton. A good strike. Drives forward. Come back out to where the left wing where they came from. Excellent ball behind to Fitzgerald, who takes his first touch with his head, fires it across the box. Harrison there, and then Toghill, who
continually get behind the Glenorchy Knights defence and getting those dangerous low balls into the penalty area. It's only one way.
No availers. Glenorchy move it forward. Stone slides in, and then Toghill slides in, and I think the referee, right, the NPL Tas Premiership, they need just 3 more wins. That is if Olympia continue to win. As the ball comes in, Hart comes flying out with his fist, and points separate themselves. Kingborough, Launceston City in 5th, 6th and 7th. Ball in. Oh, it's come off the outriders into the back of the net. Was that Hallard who has scored, I think? Wow. It is good delivery. And Lazinski has been good when he's got the ball at his feet today, and a terrific ball forward to Young. Here comes Pitchford. Oh, and he clashes in to Young. But
it's a good challenge there from Lazinski. Lazinski, ball at his feet, distributes beautifully. That's a great ball to Brown. Brown shot on goal.
We were not getting the joy that he once had. Barnard controls a delightful ball from Stone. Fitzgerald hits the underside of the bar. It hasn't gone over, but now Bidwell puts it in behind.
Well, that's 2 goals.
Edward Bidwell, goal scorer again. Stone, and tries another dink in behind to Fitzgerald. The flag goes up on the far side this time, and the keeper makes the save from Fitzgerald's left foot strike anyway, Rod Andrews.
Yeah, not sure why the keeper did that.
What else is getting Mate, I've got a bed. Let them
They just don't. It's not.
Unless it's not. He would one not four. So far away.
I think it won't matter. Man was just having a joke. Just a joke. Or when they were doing their... Yeah, she took us in again. No, was that not the video? Was that the video when they were doing the video, the commercial video? No.
For the second half of this round 23 clash between the Devonport Strikers, the ladder-leading Devonport Strikers, and the 5th place Glenorchy Knights. Devonport Strikers lead 2-1, courtesy of goals from Daniel Sarson and Eddie Bidwell. And then George Hallard, the scorer for the Glenorchy Knights in that first half. Whilst Devonport probably had, you would say, controlled the majority of that first half, Glenorchy certainly played some excellent football, causing Devonport some trouble at the back. Lazinski and Bellini, Gutierrez, Chavez and Young, Brown, all contributing, Naden, to making it a really difficult day out here. The Portress, Devonport just got across the line against Kingborough 2-1 here last week, and if they are to go on and win this premiership, and another win here today, the Portress is essential, as the fans here think that Fitzgerald was fouled by Tog Hill, as we are underway here in the second half. Smith launches it up the line towards Barnard. His flick nearly got on towards Fitzgerald, saw him in, but Hallett allowed the danger again and cleared that one away. So here's Barnard, who tries to slip it through there to Fitzgerald. And it looks like to me that Tokyo played the ball there, and even though Fitzgerald questioned the official, I don't think there was anything doing. Stone hits that one, and it's come out to Bidwell. It certainly wasn't a pass, it was a shot that was scuffed wide, and then Bidwell tries to fire across the face of goals, and it's blocked, and it will be a corner. So Stone going for a bit of a volley there, came out to the top of the box. Stone's eyes lit up, he never quite got his feet right, and body behind it to put it towards goal. The sliced volley then came out to Bidwell, who drove towards the line, cut it back, was deflected and went out for a goal, for corner. Joel Stone in towards the back post. They all rise, and there's a whistle from the official, and it will be a Glenorchy Knights free kick, which once more Hart will gratefully take. Fitzgerald touching the outside of the boot towards Hingston. He flicks it to the head of Barnard, but Hingston was hit after he'd played it, and the ball will come back just on the halfway line here of the Devonport Strikers. And once more, there are a few narratives at play here today. The Devonport Strikers chasing a back-to-back premierships under their new coach this season, Rick Coughlin. Joel Stone long in towards the box. Toby Barton heads down, cleared away by Young. Now with Bellini, Young and Bellini combining in the box, just the wrong end of the field for those two in particular. As Backhouse thumps it up towards, and deepest of the Devonport Strikers is Joel Stone. He's bundled over by Brown, no whistle from the official, and Barton just a little ball to Park, which didn't work out. A few changes to previous premiership winning squad for the Devonport Strikers. Coughlin having come in. Devonport's fullbacks don't tend to be as aggressive, kind of high and wide, bombing on fullbacks as perhaps they were with Bidwell when he was at right back and others. And Park and Smith tend to stay at home a little bit more. Got a message in here from Simon Jago from Queensland. He's watching on from Mooloolaba Beach on the sunny coast, and he's enjoying the coverage today Football Tasmania provides, and big shout out to him. Had played here previously, Simon Jago played with him, and glad to hear that he is watching on. As it's a few narratives at play here, the Glenorchy Knights will be wanting a big finish to their season. James Sherman will definitely be demanding that. 5th place up for grade for them. They are right in a tussle with Launceston City and Kingborough's Hallard is now in a tussle with Fitzgerald. Hallard up the line. Brown tries to dummy it up towards Bellini, but now Smith clears away. In this half we get to see Brown and Bellini a little bit closer out on this side. Lazinski, throw from Toghill, flicked on by Bellini. Barton to Park. Lazinski closing him down. Park fires it forward, doesn't find his target. Naden gets it towards Young. A very talented player, I like the look of him. That ball wasn't quite right though, and now Pitchford has it. If you've just tuned in, Glenorchy have used a substitution already today. Samuel James came off and Ryan Backhouse came on and just straight swap pretty well. Fullback for fullback. I'm presuming it must have been an injury-related incident. Big Albie, Lazinski flicks it, deemed to be a high boot on that occasion. The throw-in came towards him, flicked on. He stuck his boot up. It wasn't particularly high. It was more the Barton to put his head down. If Barton doesn't put his head down, then there's no whistle there. So, but the whistle has blown and Devonport had the ball back. Devonport switch play to Mulroney. It goes back where they came from. Park drives in, fires it towards Barnard's feet. A good touch to Stone. A ball in behind to Fitzgerald. Can Devonport create here? Into Sison. A lovely little touch there from Fitzgerald into Sison, which could so easily have ended up with Sison doubling his goal-scoring tally for the day. Ending up with a brace. A good bit of football. Park to Barnard, to Stone, to Fitzgerald, and then in towards Sison, but brilliantly read by Tyler Harrison, the Glenorchy Knights captain. He put it out, and now Jocelyn on another corner for the Devonport Strikers. This one in, and Barnard gets his head to it. The Fox in the box, doing Fox in the box things, but not quite getting the Fox in the box finish there. Stone whips it in. The Fox rising highest. Hart did enough just to put Barnard off though, and Barnard won't add to his 22 goals this season from that one. We would, again, if you're tuning in, certainly welcome comments and conversation on the game and your thoughts. It's a competitive one. It's the same scoreline here that Devonport defeated Kingborough Lions last week at 2-1. And absolutely at times Glenorchy have troubled Devonport, so this game absolutely in the balance. Goal scorer Hallard over this one. Hallard thumps it up towards Young. Smith clears. Stone chest down. Lazinski tries to flick it on. Bellini and Barton fly in. This one comes to Harrison, who heads down for Hallard. Back to Hart. Nice touch from Naden into Young. Stone fouling Young. Not even Stone can remonstrate about that one. See, the ball came in. A delightful touch from Naden looking to release Young, and Stone came through the back of him. Now on the wing, Backhouse. V. Bidwell, Backhouse fires in on his left boot, and a bit wild that one. Never quite got around it to put it in a dangerous position, and Pitchford in his defence untroubled. It is the Devonport Strikers 2, Glenorchy Knights 1. If Devonport win here today, they'll only need 2 more victories against Riverside, against whom they play back-to-back games. They'll play Riverside at home next weekend, and then they'll play away against Riverside midweek the following Wednesday, just 5 days later, how many days it is. And if they win those 2, they will wrap up the premiership. That is, of course, if Olympia win their next couple of games too. If Olympia don't, then Devonport will win it as soon as the game against Riverside next weekend. But the game is certainly alive here today, and Devonport need to get the job done. Glenorchy Knights are also fighting for their lives too. fired in towards Syson's feet. Miscontrolled in the battle there with Naden, and now will be a throw-in. Backhouse has it for Glenorchy Knights. His throw up towards Lazinski, who wins out. His flick on this occasion, not particularly well directed. It's going to be a throw-in for the Devonport Strikers. Barton to Park. Lazinski tackles Park, but seems to have come in from behind there, pushed him in the back. Coughlin with his full row beanie on the sideline there, you can see. Giving some instructions to Park and Barton. Barton stepping in to midfield, as Ralph Reynolds did when he was there, as Ralph Reynolds does. He's still sitting out. The Spaniard. But Barton has absolutely filled that hole since he came in. It's a very composed player, Barton. Came from New South Wales, Toby Barton, to join the Devonport Strikers squad. He just moved down, turned up to training one day, and Devonport were very glad to add him into the squad. Park with the throw. To Stone's feet, no, over Stone. To Stone's feet, has Gutierrez Chavez for company, comes to Park, and his cross is wild as well, doesn't quite get hold of that one, and it's been a slow old start the first 10 minutes here, not much goalmouth action to speak of. I'm positive that as the game ticks along that we will certainly have some more goalmouth action. It's a long trip home from Hobart for the Knights if they don't get a result here today, and well, the Devonport Strikers know they must continue to win with this premiership on the line. Daniel Sison and Fitzgerald next to each other here. Sison drives forward, tries to play it into the feet of Barnard, deflected away, ball still in play. Toghill's clearance isn't a great one, comes to the feet of Fitzgerald. He lays it out towards Sison, but doesn't work out for Devonport at all there, and it's going to be a Glenorchy throw. Neither team managing to get things flowing here as they're quite luck since the restart. Hinkson, Smith. Nicely into Stone, he turns. Tries to play to Smith, and the ball takes an ugly bobble off a pretty chopped up bit of pitch and falls to Glenorchy. Naden, Gutierrez Chavez to Toghill. Not quite the right weight on that one, and it goes out of play. 35 minutes to play here. Smith fires that throw with a bit of spin. Harrison back towards Hart. Long up towards Zazinski. He tries to flick it on towards Bellini, but Mulroney clears away. Young now driving forward. Tries to cross on his left, and again, quite a few crosses. I'm not sure whether it's not particularly windy here at Valley Road or anything like that. Pitch conditions obviously aren't quite ideal, but still not quite the excuse for the amount of crosses that have been hit early here in this second half. Perhaps I'm a little harsh, but I did just watch Liverpool overnight. Trent Alexander-Arnold whipping crosses in was tremendous against Norwich, and Liverpool's win there as the Premier League action got back underway. But more exciting news is we have a game in our hands here with half an hour to play. Glenorchy looking to play out from the back. Barnard pressing hard. Hart's going to have to clear it, and he does. He was kind of left with no option there. The safest option, really, and what you really want your goalkeeper to do is always to take the safest option. On that occasion, was to put it behind, put it out of play. Pressed by Barnard. The pass back to him wasn't quite on target. And rather than try and pinpoint a pass into feet and be caught out of position away from goal. Best that one ends up out of play. Throw in, Devonport strikers. Fired into the feet of Fitzgerald. Outside of the left. Back to Hingston. Barton with space in the midfield. Can he pick a pass? He does to the chest of Fitzgerald, who's got a chance to shoot. Doesn't. Lays it towards Barnard instead. He flicks towards Biddle, who fires across the face of goal. Well, good play from the Devonport strikers. Barton again showing his touch of class. Finds Fitzgerald's chest, who could have struck himself there at goal. Chose instead to chip it towards Barnard, who played a lovely little flick on to Bidwell, who he must have seen out of the corner of his eyes. And Bidwell had a chance to put his laces through it. He scored an almost identical goal from that position 2 weeks ago. We fired it into the far side netting, but on this occasion, accuracy was left wanting, and the score remains at 2-1. The best highlight of this second half, that. Now, can Glenorchy provide a highlight? Can they trouble the Devonport strikers, Brown and Smith? A good tackle from Smith and Brown. It has to be a corner, and it is. Really spark the game into life if Glenorchy could get something here. Hallard scored from a set piece earlier in the game. Bellini on this one. A left-footed delivery. And it goes to the near post. Not a great corner, to be fair. Stones clears it with his chest. Only back to Bellini, who delivers in that one a little better. Comes out the back of the pack towards Brown. And then Lazinski has to come out towards Backhouse. His ball, I think, directed towards Bellini. It wasn't particularly accurate. And now Devonport counter-attack. Stone has it. Can he find the delivery? Delicious ball in towards Fitzgerald. Hart reads it well, heads away, doesn't quite get the purchase he wanted. Fitzgerald now. He toes it towards Bidwell. Bidwell tries to get it to Stone. Stone gets it under his spell terrifically. He's got two for company, though, in Young and Toghill. He's going to have an option back and tries to turn and can't get away from him and wins a throw-in. Bidwell. Gutierrez Chavez, and it's going to be Glenorchy ball as Stone's long ball in behind towards Fitzgerald. Hart Redwell got his head to it, didn't clear it out of the immediate area, but just did enough to make life difficult for Devonport as they tried to counter-attack. Barton left to head that one down to Sison. Hingston. As we've ticked past the hour mark here. Stone fires one in behind to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald can't get there. It's going to be a goal kick. So just waiting for that bit of spark in the second half of this game to come to life. Sherman and Coughlin might just start thinking about their benches. Who can they bring on to change the game? Do they have the players on the bench who have the pace, the creativity to change the game, score the goal that changes the course perhaps of this NPL Taz season? Lazinski towards Brown. He's got Smith for company. Brown into the feet of Bellini. He cuts inside on his left foot, his favoured left foot. Ball in towards the box. Park heads down. Hingston with a soft touch towards Sison, who dummies and then lays it to Fitzgerald. He's got Backhouse with him. And then Devonport strikers going to throw just on their halfway line. Now Sison with it on the left wing. Park. Fitzgerald. Sison. And Sison finds the pass towards Hingston. Can they switch play? Hingston, a nice little dink towards Bidwell. He fires across. Oh, terrific from Toghill, but Bidwell flagged offside anyway. Not 100% sure about that call. I'd like to see a replay. You see here Hingston towards Bidwell. You can't really tell from that angle. And I'm once more delighted to be joined by Rod Andrews for this remaining half an hour or so of this round 23 fixture. Rod Andrews, welcome back.
Thanks, mate. Good to be back. I've only got 30 minutes commentary in me, mate. So that's why I'm delayed. No, I had a bit to do there. We had the TPS penalty shootout, won by a young man whose name eludes me.
Always a highlight though, Rod, the halftime shootout.
Yeah, I love it. And it's been really successful, hasn't it? The kids love it.
It was a big lineup, kids. A big lineup for kids always is.
Yeah, there's always a bit of controversy there. With the one we're working at the moment is, does the ball along the ground count? Well, sometimes it does.
Sneaks under the...
Yeah. We haven't actually got any rules, so... Anyway,
I need to write out some kind of policy or rules for that one,
It'll probably come to that.
The area in which we live, these things need to be in black and white.
Absolutely. We could be facing an appeal or something otherwise. Enough said about that. There's a ordinary challenge in the middle of the ground. Sison gave away that free kick. No argument. A couple of them there. Sandwich.
There's a sandwich between Barton and Sison. I think it was Bellini squashed in between them.
Hey, we've got a bit of a lull in the game. Just want to send a cheerio to Dale Hitchens. Dale, you're probably watching the game, mate. Have you been a bit crook? Looking forward to catching up with you soon, mate, and hope your recovery's going okay. Tonight's put one right onto the spot. Great ball there, big chance, but couldn't get the shot away. Probably good thing because he had a decent size of goal there if he got on.
Oh! I tell you what, Joel Stone's going straight in the book for that one. A slice of cheese, absolutely no doubt about that. So Stone had the ball, he looked to be away, Backhouse came in, tackled him, and then incredibly cynically, it looks like he reached out with his hand and grabbed his foot and pulled him down.
Well, you can't do that.
You're absolutely not allowed to do that in this game. And rarely have I seen such action. Stone was probably aware of the danger that turning it over in that position would mean, so he took one for the team, perhaps, and either that or he was just frustrated by losing the ball. Either way, Gutierrez Chavez over it, drives it into Fitzgerald, not the world's best for a kick, and Tokyo just thumps it up towards Pitchford. An odd passage of play, an odd 2 minutes there, as Pitchford launches forward. Pinpoints Fitzgerald.
Yeah, there's a free kick there too. Unnecessary, that one. A bit lazy. Good position for the strikers. And what can Joel do with this one? I don't think he'll shoot.
No, not from this angle. Right, a bit too, even for Joel Stone, this one's a bit far out, but plenty of tall timber for the strikers there. Barton and Hingston and Barnard and Smith and Park, they all, and Moroni, they're all got the height.
You missed a lot of them.
That one's come off. The Glenorchy player, it's going to be a corner. It's either come off Naden or Brown towards the back post, long towards the back post, and then I think it's come off Naden in the end.
At the end of the day, it's a corner.
Corner. Oh, you must be up towards about a dozen now for the Devonport strikers here, Stone. That one not in the corner at all. There we go, this one now sits comfortably on either line. Chris McKenna, you could see in your picture there at the corner just behind Joel Stone.
Yeah, he's keeping an eye on that corner flag. It's seen better days, I think.
Clearance nearly hitting the camera there from the Glenorchy Knights, and there's a bit of an audible ooze from the crowd as it nearly took out our camera and camera woman. Eddie Bidwell. Hingston up ahead of Sison. Cleared away with the goal scorer Haller. Gutierrez Chavez only as far as Hingston, who bounces it off a couple of Glenorchy players, and now Bidwell with fancy feet. Speaking of fancy feet, unceremoniously hacked down, and that has to be a yellow card, and is for Tokyo. Not many arguments from him or other players on the pitch, because fancy feet from Bidwell, and then came to Stone, dragged back, and then just agricultural again, Rod Andrews.
Love that word. agricultural. And it's so relevant for the Northwest Coast too, isn't it?
It is a huge part of produce here in this part of the world.
It's all about onions. Stone now. Oh, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. Just needs a flick.
Oh, you're right, Rod. And Toby Barton was coming across there. Didn't quite get the touch, and it's going to be another corner. Stone on this one. He delivered it into the box just over the head of Barnard and Barton, and then I think Young putting that one behind in the end.
The corner of the strikers. Definitely in double figures now if we weren't before. The in-swinger again. Yes, he is, and low, but it didn't come off how we would have liked. That said, took a bit to clear, but now we're only going as far as Bidwell. Bidwell puts it back into the mixer, as they say. Barnard made the run, but it didn't come through. Cleared by Hullard. Bidwell on the ball again. That's just a... I'm not going to use the adjective... I've just used it, agricultural again. I'm not going to use it. But he just slung that over his shoulder and hope for the best. Gets a throw in for it. Dangerous spot for the strikers again. Bidwell cleverly, that little move that he does. We've seen so many times here. The ball goes to Lazinski. Can he hold it up? Doesn't need to. Gets it out wide to Brown. This guy's got some wheels. What does he do? Stone comes in across, but the touch just eludes him that time, Brown, and gives the ball up. What can Stone and the strikers do this time? Nothing. They'll recycle by the looks of it. Right in front of the stand, Stone, crowd favourite. Did nothing there. Dispossessed by Brown. Did well. Some nice play here from the Knights. Really moving the ball around beautifully at the moment. Oh, put the moz on him. It's a shame. That was some beautiful football there.
Commentator's curse in full view there, right, Andrews.
That's the way.
You've just stitched them up absolutely there as Fitzgerald delivers into the box, headed away by Backhouse.
Well, he's been good since he came on.
He has. We picked that one up too, right? But here he is again, Backhouse, clearing away. This one read best by Mulroney. Down to Barton, who steps into midfield at times, and then I think once more an obvious foul from Lazinski. Pretty cynical there, and walking the line between a foul and a yellow, but yeah, you can't yellow card for that, but it was very cynical.
Yeah, it's only going to be one result there, clear free kick. And again in a dangerous spot, almost the identical spot that Stone scored from last week, I reckon.
It is a long way out. It would take some sort of free kick from here.
Surely not. No.
I'm thinking there's probably delivery into the box coming here.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, no. It was a shot.
It was a shot.
And, high, wide and ugly, that one. You won't want to see that one back on replay, Joel Stone.
He's remonstrating with himself out there at the moment. Very disappointed. Expect to do better from there. The free kick specialist. You've got 72 minutes gone or thereabouts. We've still got a good game here. Knights continue to threaten, particularly on the break. That's Stone again with a lovely ball through to Bidwell. That's fantastic, but Bidwell just couldn't get past the defender, whose name eludes me as well.
It's Backhouse again.
That's right, Backhouse, of course.
And then
he's been good.
Backhouse has been terrific since he came on, Rod. Pitchford. Bit of time.
Yeah.
Takes a few touches. He'll switch towards Smith here. Smith gets his pass in towards Syson, but best read by Harrison, the captain for the Knights. And Brown drives forward. Can he create something here for the Knights? He's got a horrible bobble. And instead of using his boot, he's used his shin. Right, Andrews, we'll see it in clear view here on the replay. There it is. Just at the crucial moment, it's taken a horrible bobble. And it's
was that you? Did you do that in the previous game, Cammy? That divot there, that ball when you do it? I think it was yours.
Must have been. As Mulroney rises highest, heads down towards Bellini, who finds Brown again. Hopefully he'll have better luck with the pitch this time. He's got Smith one-on-one. Can he get a shot away? Shapes, he'll shoot. Oh, terrific defending from Kieran Mulroney, doing Kieran Mulroney things, throwing himself at the ball, reading the game, defending stoutly. That is Kieran Mulroney, and does it once more here as Brown look to fire and perhaps equalise for the Glenorchy Knights.
Textbook second defending that. If you wanted to do a video booklet, an iBook on second defending, there it was right there. Brown is always going to trouble Smith for pace and trouble a few players for pace, so that was great work. Pitchford comes to that one, wasn't ever going to really get to it, but gets an effective punch away, not as far as he would have liked. And we've got another corner.
Gutierrez Chavez will wander over and take this one, an in-swinging corner. The right footer, they had Bellini on that one, the left footer to another in-swinging corner, so obviously what the Glenorchy Knights and James Sherman fancy.
I can see what they're doing here. They like an in-swinging corner.
It's a pattern, right?
It's definitely a pattern.
We've done well to pick that one up.
Yeah, thanks.
In towards the box. Pitchford doesn't quite get to it, and then cleared off the line by Mulroney again. Thumped in by Backhouse. Young jumps highest. Not terrific. It's higher than it is longer from Fitzgerald, and then headed down by Naden, and then Mulroney leaves it for Pitchford.
I assume he got a call, but gee, not dealing with those high balls particularly well, the strikers at the moment. They've got to be a lot more definite and a lot more solid there. But they get away with that one. But it's the Knights again. Troubling the strikers with their pace a bit, mate, up front, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Brown has enjoyed some success, and Lazinski's held it up well, and he's brought other players into the game, and Bellini and Chavez and Brown have all showed good touches, and Naden as well. So they absolutely have the players to trouble the strikers and the better teams in this competition. They do currently sit fifth, some distance from the Hobart Zebras in fourth.
There's that polar breeze or whatever they said was going to come and destroy Devonport yesterday. Never happened. You can hear it. Very windy here at Valley Road.
Has picked up here in the last few minutes. It's blowing towards the attacking end for the Devonport strikers here. Mulroney clears.
Yeah, a bit of a southwesterly blowing at the moment. Usually the wind comes northwesterly here, but I'd say feeling it now. It's still southwesterly.
Is that good for surfing, Rod? I don't know.
No, you have to ask Todd and Toby.
Todd and Toby, the resident surfers here.
Never surfed in anger, mate. Used to drive around with a surfboard in the car there for a while, but just for good looks.
Just for looks.
Yeah. Kicks and giggles. Something else and giggles, as I say.
Smith wins that one. Young is up highest, then Chavez, and then down to Bellini. Switches play. Backhouse. Naden, he's in trouble. He's got 3 for company and beats all of them.
Well.
He's going to strike.
Shot.
Oh, extremely ambitious there. 30 yards out against the best stopper in the state at the moment. Have to do very well to beat him from there, and just didn't quite get hold of it.
Very true, but who dares wins, Cammy? Who dares wins?
And they have to gamble now too, the Knights, with some 13 minutes left of regulation time, and then there hasn't been too many stoppages, so can't imagine we'll have too much at a time. So Glenorchy haven't dipped back into their substitutions bench as yet.
Probably a good thing, because we probably would miss it if they did.
As we do.
Any musicals coming up, Rig?
Oh, the Full Monty next year. Right, Andrew.
Classic.
So, if my nickname, the Rig, means anything, then
no.
I might get a decent role.
Oh, wow.
In this upcoming Devonport Choral Society production.
You heard it here first. Probably not a great idea if you got the gear off, mate, for a whole range of reasons. No, just
it's bad.
It's not a good idea.
Better than me clogging up a spot in the centre of midfield on a Saturday, I think.
That's great. It's fantastic. Devonport Rep, Devonport Choral.
Devonport Choral Society.
Devonport Choral Society.
It's directed by
Sid
former federal politician Sid Sidebottom. We'll be directing that one along with a traditional crew of a production team there, so we're very much looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to that one anyway.
No,
I don't
fantastic.
think any people coming might look forward to it. We'll see as Devonport drive forward, and Joel Stone can't quite get to that one. It's going to be a goal kick for the Glenorchy Knights as time ticks away for them, and the wind rising up against them too. What can they produce? They're going to have to gamble here. Leave men forward.
Actually auditioned for the lead in Bye Bye Birdie.
Really, right?
About 30 years ago, yeah.
How'd you go?
Nah, I didn't get it.
Did you get a...
Ended up in the chorus.
Well, yeah, nothing wrong with being in the chorus. The ensemble was a terrific place to be.
I had a great time. What a ball. Fitzgerald now. Fitzgerald gets back onto his right, which is no mean feat. He's a left footer, gets the ball back from Barnard and just didn't quite link up with him properly. Now Brown's away for the Knights, and they switch play to the other side of the ground. Another bobble.
Yeah, right, believe it or not, we've missed a substitution.
Oh.
Aaron Marnie has come on, and Abby Lazinski has gone off.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow we missed that one.
Yeah,
but Marnie, a quick winger, has been starting the last few weeks for the Glenorchy Knights, who've been disappointed not to get a start today, but with some 10 minutes left, he's got the chance to come in and impact the game. He'll move out onto the wing for them. Young Marnie's a short but a quick and sprightly little player. He's been excellent the last few weeks in the highlights that I've seen, so look forward to seeing him today as the corner comes to the Devonport strikers. Can they kill it here? It's off the crossbar from Hingston, who throws his hands into the air and says, what more can I do? The corner here, this time from Park. Stone not on this one. Park whips it. Hingston heads down as you're told to do to make it harder for the keeper. Heads it too much down. It bounces off the turf onto the crossbar, and the Knights put it behind. It's going to be another corner. Park on this one, so Joel Stone not taking the corners at present. Stone's going to wander over here, see if he can pick it up. He calls for it. Is Park going to ignore him? He does. Instead goes long into the box. Daniel Sison on that occasion, the salad artist. It bounces off his salad and then behind for a goal kick.
Poor old Todd Hingston can't take a trick. I reckon he's had about 4 or 5 of those near misses this year, and just can't quite convert. Got hit in the snoz too in the warm-up too, just to add insult to injury, and I reckon that one probably may well have touched the bridge of the nose as well and just given it a bit of a tingle on a cold day at Valley Road. And there he is again, winning that header comfortably. About 9 minutes of normal time to go here at Valley Road. Tolkill takes the throw. Guarded by Mulroney. And that'll be a striker's throw in, taken by Smith in front of the Gordon Rimmer stand. 344 here today. Rig, checked with Harold, the gateman. 344 on the clicker, so that's a great crowd.
It's a good
really
crowd
good
in. Terrific crowd in, and they're very vocal at the moment, the crowd. It's been a quiet second half in terms of goalmouth action. And
sorry, mate, there's a substitution.
And we've picked it up. Believe it or not, we have actually caught one. It's going to be Daniel Sison off for Jack Dance.
He's put on a good shift size today.
A bit of a like-for-like replacement. Yeah. Dance will probably play a little bit more of a defensive role perhaps than Sison, and this is a bit of Rick Coghlan perhaps looking to just make sure that the Devonport strikers don't concede. It might be looking at kind of 2 6s and a 10 instead of
I think that's right. I think he's just shoring up the game now.
Glenorchy again yet to dip into their bench since the they have to dip into their bench. Lazinski coming off, but comes up long towards Naden. Off him, Bellini. Glenorchy really need to throw some men forward here, particularly if they're going to look to launch long. They need to get it right. Need to get men up there. It's hard after 80 minutes to run forward. Hingston.
Well, that's going nowhere. Has
lost the ball out here to Bellini. Brown next to him. Not many options. He's going to have to cut back. He does get it towards Gutierrez Chavez, out towards Toghill. He's going to deal with the bobbly pitch to deliver that one. He chips it up. Pitchford's going to be challenged here.
Oh, great work.
Terrific from Nathan Pitchford under the challenge of the shortest player on the pitch, to be fair, but even still he does well under challenge to grab that one, Rod.
Awkward for a keeper when they're coming down at pace like that as opposed to being hit conventionally from across. Really, really difficult, particularly when you've got to play a bearing down on you like that. But it's all about concentration and backing yourself and doing what you do at training 130 times a week. rest assured, this guy trains as hard as anyone going around. Under the tutelage of Rick Orme.
Ricky Orme putting Nathan Pitchford through his paces on a week-to-week basis, and not only is Nathan Pitchford a terrific keeper, but he's a model servant for the club too, a terrific lad, Nathan Pitchford, and we're very pleased to have him out the Devonport Strikers as the ball comes in from Park from the wing, and Toby Barton seals this one for the Devonport Strikers. He rises high as Barton, using his head there to nod that one home.
Good lad.
Devonport Strikers 3-1 with only a handful of minutes remaining here. That one kills this contest. Toby Barton, I think that must be his first goal this season. The ball came in from Park. Barton rose nearly uncontested, it looks like. Nodded it home. There's not much that Hart could have done about that one. And that is, I think, game, set and match. It would take an extraordinary performance for the Glenorchy Knights to come back from here, and the Devonport Strikers move ever so much closer to that NPL Taz. One hand, we dare say, on the trophy end. There's a substitution, right, Andrews? We picked one up again.
We have, in a yellow card to the Knights bench. I think it may well have been Sherman that got the yellow card. I'm not sure what happened there. Definitely Cheese was shown. Well, you were watching the substitution. I was watching that.
So it's Kadisha on for the Knights, and Nicholas Naden off. And a slice of cheese, Rod Andrews, as said, has been shown. It wasn't obviously the new rule is that the players on the bench can be shown cards.
Yeah.
I thought that was only applicable to leagues that started after
I'm not
the
sure.
1st of June, like the competition that started after that cut-off, so in which case this competition doesn't qualify for that particular rule. So I'd be interested to get some clarification on that one, exactly what happened. But
it'll all come out in the wash, mate. It'll all come out in the wash, I'm sure. Speaking of the wash, white strip today. It's not too muddy, so it's not too bad, but always feel for the...
at least it's not pouring with rain. But I wouldn't want to be the kit manager for... the Glenorchy Knights with a bright white one and a bit of a cuddle there. Gutierrez Shara is showing some affection to Joel Stone.
Oh, he's just being friendly.
Giving him some love and showing the slice of cheese as Stone got the better of him there and trying to slow down play. And he knew he was getting a yellow card. He knew exactly what he was doing in trying to prevent further damage.
Yeah, a bit of fun. All good there. What can Park do with this one? That's dangerous again. That's near Barton and there and abouts. But keeper had that sorted. Let the guys and his defenders know that that was all good and that was going wide. And so it was. Time running out now for the Knights. They've played well today. I guess timing's everything, and I think that third goal for the Strikers just came at the most... Oh, hello, I've got that. It just came at the wrong time. It's tough to get back from there.
And it has been a second half lacking a whole bunch of goal-mouth action, but the Devonport Strikers struck when it mattered most. Toby Barton. There's been plenty of kind of dead ball situations for both teams in this half, and it just happened to be that one that Toby Barton managed to be clinical enough to finish.
These guys.
Joel Stone showing those fancy feet. Delightful from Stone. To Fitzgerald. Just overplayed a little bit. It's going to be a goal kick, but look at these feet from Joel Stone. This is why he's one of the best to watch in the competition. Goodness gracious me. You see that on a futsal court, not necessarily on a Saturday, and
young Max Fitzgerald just ran into the fence in front of his dad, who's down to have a look at him today.
Very good. Welcome down to Valley Road. Max having come down from Queensland himself.
Quite right. Second trip down for Max's dad. He was down earlier in the year.
Barnard, he might get a role in the next step Coral Society production, I think, with that one. It was a foul, but he certainly made sure the official knew about it. Very theatrical from Miles Barnard here. Oh, and there he goes down. from Toghill's challenge. Toghill kicks it away afterwards, but another dead ball situation here. Ken Barton add to his day's work.
You seen Hamilton the musical, Kemi?
It is my favourite musical, right?
How good is it?
I love it.
We've got so much in common.
Adore it, don't we? It's tremendous.
We'll talk later.
Tremendous piece of art.
What a great way to learn history if you're a kid.
It is, exactly, particularly
in America.
American history. Alexander Hamilton, one of the founding fathers, a terrific retelling of his story in a musical fashion.
Yeah.
Rod Andrews. But maybe we should do Devonport Strikers musical.
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe you could star. You could be. You could play Miles Barnard.
Well, no, I just don't think I've got the attributes.
In the meantime, another slice of cheese show. It's been quite a slice of cheese happy day here.
There's
it
been
was
a few.
Chavez. Really, I'm not sure Hingston meant much about that. Hingston was kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time. Chavez dribbling towards him, and then Hingston kind of forced into a challenge. And I think it was more Chavez into Hingston, but Hingston nonetheless made the challenge, and it is a yellow card to him. Hingston didn't necessarily remonstrate, so maybe considered cheeseworthy, but 100% certain as Glenorchy, can they make this closing minutes interesting? Bounces out towards Backhouse, but not quite. Chavez then out to Marnie, the substitute. Doesn't quite get hold of the cross, and now Devonport look to launch the counter attack. Barnard has 5 Glenorchy players for company and 1 Eddie Bidwell, and he manages to find the pass to the 1 Devonport player. Young and Kadisha with Bidwell, but Kadisha wins out. Doesn't place his pass well. And Park happy to slow things down, let it go as time ticks away here. Rod Andrews, we're into the final minutes here. Added time, the Devonport Strikers lead 3-1, and they are ever a step closer to this NPL Tas Premiership.
Yes, it's getting pretty close now. Another game gone, another box ticked, but still a couple of banana skins along the way, and it's never over till it's over. And I know these guys certainly have some really, really strong, short-term goals, if you like, and they don't get ahead of themselves. All they want to do is just keep winning games, and I think it's a really good attitude. Coghlan has certainly got their heads in the right space, and there's a bit of experience out there on this side now. Some of these guys have been playing, NPL football for 4 or 5 years, even the young guys. And look at Dom Smith there, played his 100th game a couple of weeks ago, and he's a very experienced young lad. Played in a couple of FFA Cup round of 32s and 16s, and some really big games for the Strikers over the years. So I think we're a show. I think we're a real show of if things go right and we keep playing this way. I think a bit of luck and a fair breeze there could be a title coming this way.
Speaking of a show, Kynan West comes on, replacing Gelstone. Kynan will just get a couple of minutes here, if that. In fact, he might even be lucky to get a touch before the final whistle's blown.
Another big game player. Young Kynan hasn't a lot of game time this year, but it's more about this being a very, very good squad. But played in that NPL final game against Heidelberg last year and acquitted himself very, very well that night. And loves the big games.
So it looks like West might have gone out wide, and Fitzgerald tucking inside into the midfield perhaps is the change. Obviously some changes for Glenorchy too. They put Hallow forward when Kadisha came on, so a few little positional changes here late on in this game, and nothing that's particularly changed the game too much from either Sherman or Coghlan, but a few little changes worthy of mention. But time ticking away here, I imagine this is about it. Glenorchy clear. All eyes on the official now as Mulroney drives forward. Will he shoot? I think he did. It was blocked.
Yeah, it was a shot.
And then acrobatically Jack Dance clears, comes down to Fitzgerald, who's tucked inside his ball. A nice idea, but not the execution. And the FFA guidelines in terms of coaching speak about perception, decision-making and execution as the 3 forms of what players do on the pitch. So the perception was good. He saw the pass. The decision-making was good. It was a good idea, but the execution of the pass.
Execution.
Tick 2 or 3 boxes there. And Fitzgerald
nice.
jumps over a couple of tackles. Excellent from Fitzgerald, who's been a live wire today.
What's that? I think it's a missed kick.
And that was a missed kick. Cut across it instead of getting around it, and it's going to be a goal kick. And I reckon, Rod Andrews, that might be all she wrote.
Yeah.
It's an old expression, isn't it? All she wrote.
She's all she wrote.
We're still letting play go on. Some 4 minutes of added time being played here.
Couple of substitutions, mate.
Kingston gets his toe in, holds it up, wrestling with Gutierrez Chavez, and that's it. Devonport Strikers victorious at Valley Road, the Portress, and they come now within a couple of games of securing the NPL Tasmania title, and Glenorchy Knights will rue a lost opportunity to take some points home. They've got a long bus trip home now for Glenorchy Knights, and they will hope that Launceston City and Kingborough don't get results, as they want to hold on to that 5th spot. There's only 2 points between those 3 teams, but Devonport, the stronger team here today, Rod, and deserving of their victory.
Yeah, look, it was an entertaining game, particularly the first half. Really enjoyed that. I guess as they've done all year, when the critical moments come, the Strikers seem to find a way out of jail and out of trouble, and they've done it again today. I guess it 1-1. We had a bit of a game in our hands, and the Glenorchy Knights were coming right back into the game, but that goal just before half-time pretty well put paid to that. And, I guess the second half went in a similar way. Not as many chances for either side, but I think when it mattered, I think the Strikers were able to find something, and that's good. Just looking at some of the goals there now.
They were, and we saw the highlight there of Eddie Burrell putting that one home from close range, and then Toby Barton finishing devastatingly from that corner from the edge of the 6-yard box, pretty much unmarked, making Glenorchy Knights pay there, and a 3-1 victory of the Devonport Strikers. Glenorchy did have their chances, but between Sison and then Bidwell and then Barton, they were successful in their 3-1 victory today. Hallard, the scorer for the Glenorchy Knights, started at centre-back, scored a goal from a set-piece, and then finished the game in the number 9 position, Hallard, as they chased the game. But as the Devonport players gather into a huddle, but very, very close to another premiership here, and they'll wait on other results, see how Olympia go this afternoon. They have a 4:30 kickoff, so all eyes will be on that from here on in. Kicking off very shortly, but Devonport are right in there, Rod Andrews.
Yeah, business end of the season now, and as you say, Cammy, it's very close for the Strikers. They just need to keep doing what they're doing, and things will hopefully fall into place. Still got a bit of football to play this year, but look at it. It's starting to look more and more likely, I think, at this point in time. Been a great day today.
Had a terrific day, Rod Andrews, and an excellent result if you're a Devonport fan. Been Kimmel Douglas, and I've been joined by Rod Andrews for this Football Federation, Football Tasmania presentation of this round 23 clash from the Devonport Strikers and Glenorchy Knights in a 3-1 victory for the reigning champions, hoping to be back-to-back champions. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next time here at the Portress.
Against City, against City, so they're going to lose and give City their first.